Hey guys, Wolfie here and welcome back to the channel. As always, the usual disclaimer, any opinion here is mine and mine alone. This is the third video in a sense of me filming it but not posting it just yet. And it is, again, in the PC tech stuff regarding the playlist this is going to be on. Now, the other two videos I've previously filmed, first one is something about like cable ties, having both types around, the reusables and the and a proper zip tie for like when it comes to cable management, all that stuff. The second one was like Odin, the future variants of Odin, you know, where I'm thinking about going along those lines. Now for the third video in this particular trilogy is going to be a lesson I personally should have learned before I even started in PC building, and that is the realm of dry fitting components before you install them, because one has no idea how much money I've had to spend replacing parts, like replacing the PC case, the GPU, the motherboard, power supplies, so on and so forth. And sometimes when it comes to an economy like the current one, it's more important than ever before to really practice the art of dry fitting components before you install them completely. Because when it comes to some parts, there's no going back, in other words. Unless it's just about a power supply that's not compatible with a case. In my opinion regarding that, I would just replace the case, because the power supply might not be as easy to replace as opposed to the case. But that's going to be another video for another day. Now, when it comes to dry fitting things before installing it, it's really good, you know, to have more than certain aspects of things floating around. Especially if some of those things are inexpensive, meaning that it'll be easier to replace or you're not wasting as much money. So without any further delay, I'm going to show you like an example of dry fitting, why I feel it's necessary. What I have here in my left hand is a CPU, is that bracket for the CPU. Is where you insert the CPU first, you take out the bracket where it's like you do that levering to hold the CPU in place. So it's pretty much, this is replacing that. And I mean, it's really good to have in a sense of like dry fitting, because it's like that way you can test out coolers, like if the cooler will work with a part like this. Now I have here is the instruction manual. This is the Noctua NH-L9X65 CPU cooler. It's a low profile. And this type of CPU cooler is ideal if your motherboard is a micro ATX or a mini ITX motherboard. And I actually have a micro ATX motherboard where this cooler will be present in. So what I was doing the other day, I'm not so sure if it was Friday or yesterday, I think it was last night, and I tried to do a dry fit of this particular bracket. And the brackets that came with this motherboard, and you can probably tell here with the hint, based on the hint of this, that the motherboard I have is an AMD, so I was trying out the brackets, and it turns out that this brackets like this don't work with this cooler. When it comes to brackets like this, because it's very inexpensive, like less than 20 bucks, depending on where you go to find it. I found this on Amazon. It's like you're not wasting as much money as opposed to things like a CPU cooler, or more importantly, the CPU itself, the storage, the memory, graphics card, power supply. And I'm glad, if people were to think about my thoughts about, you know, doing the dry fitting, you know, finding out that this does not work with this, I'm glad I did it. For me, just spending like less than 20-30 bucks on this, and the currency I'm using is United States currency because I'm in the US. And the reason why I'm glad to, you know, have quote unquote wasted money on something like this to like for dry fitting purposes, because it's just making sure that I have the peace of mind, which is beyond invaluable, of knowing that I don't have to worry about breaking things, replacing this, replacing that if I don't have to. And not worrying about like what to replace, what not to replace. It's like I'd rather have that knowledge, knowing that before going balls to the wall with this particular bracket and this particular cooler in the same build, it's like, yeah. But it's always, for me, it's just always a good practice to have, in the sense of like having like this around in case it doesn't work with coolers like this. Now, for in the realm of dry fitting like other things, it's like it's important in the sense of like motherboards for certain chassis, in the sense of like a chassis that can fit ATX motherboards, but not all brands work with the certain cases. So all in all, I'm just like, I'm glad I did this little experiment. When it comes to varying components, it's always a good practice to have. And then regarding dry fitting some stuff, like sense of like incompatible like cases, power supplies, another trick one should like try out like overall would be to I know not every PC case has this, but there's like the hard drive cage. It's like removing that and then replacing like, so that way you may have more room for things like space for the power supply, so on and so forth. So this is going to be a short-ish video. I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes. So all in all, when it comes to like CPU coolers, it's always good to have something like this, a bracket like this around. I mean, I know there's the Intel equivalent, so it's always good to have this around in case you run into PC like air coolers like this. And for the record, this is the manual you see here. It is an air cooler. When it comes to like future variants of Deadpool, it's very much unless otherwise by any means, it's like it's going to be like nothing bigger than a micro ATX motherboard. That way, and which is why I prefer low profile coolers. That way I have more space in the build, because it is common knowledge in my circle that I'm claustrophobic. The more space, the better. And when it comes to claustrophobia, mine is from both fear and hatred. And I just don't like things super messy and short. And just like so much, it just drives me nuts. So on that, I don't know when I'm going to be filming the next video. As I mentioned in a previous video, I am in a sense of transition, in the sense of working at another UPS location, meaning that I'm no longer going to be the one working at the location I've been working at, because the one I've been working at is closed down, and I'll be working at a different UPS location as of this Tuesday, which means like when it comes to varying things regarding like filming, I'm probably going to be focusing that on Sundays and Mondays, unless it's like December. And I'm probably be planning. I do have some stuff in mind. It's just a matter of like, how do I want to work this, folks? It's gonna be a matter of like planning and strategizing accordingly. So on that, I'm done with this video. Before I sign off, there is no standing in this particular video. Geez, my eye is kind of burning. There's no standing in this video. I tried filming this a few times, so he is being his usual orange kitty self, and that's that. With Wolfie here signing off. I will catch you all on the flip side.